going on, everybody? How y'all doing today? And welcome to this week's Raw recap. And as always, in these recap videos, we go over everything you need to know about this important episode of WWE. I give my thoughts on the show, and at any point in the video, you guys can leave your thoughts down in the comments below. But as always, before we get anywhere into any video, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. Go follow the socials. Links to those will be in the description of the video. That includes my Instagram account, my X account. Do all that helps me out a ton. Now let's get you guys straight into this week's Raw recap. Alright, so we would kick off the show with Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, and pretty much what they come out and say is, well, Rhea starts it off and says, welcome to Monday Night Rio. So what that means is, I guess, that the Rhea and Io tag team, they're going to be called Rio from now on, I guess. So I guess that's cool. Just pretty much mashing their names together. Really nothing we've seen before. Kind of something that you can make up on the spot, you know? But yeah, so I guess that's what their tag team name is going to be. But getting down to business, the main thing that they do say is at War Games, they obviously won the war. And no matter how banged up their bodies is, they're still going to go after the Kabuki Warriors because we want our revenge on what you did to my best friend, obviously that being Io Sky. And then what Io Sky says is, you know, Asuka, you're not ready for Rio, and they're pretty much pronouncing that they want a shot at the Kabuki Warriors for those tag titles. They want to take everything away from them. So what this leads to is we do see the women's tag champions. We do see Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. They come out and pretty much they deny Rio of their shot. They say, you know, we were the former champions, and last time I knew, we haven't gotten our rematch yet. We want our rematch, and we respect you guys a lot, but pump the brakes a little bit kind of thing, you know? It's, we go first, and after we take our titles back, you guys can have the Kabuki Warriors all you want kind of thing. So what this inevitably leads to is just a back and forth along those circumstances, and what this comes of is we will get in the main event tonight on Monday Night Raw. It will be Rio versus the team of Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Whoever wins that will get a shot at the Kabuki Warriors for those tag titles. So what do we do? So what is going to happen in the match? Well, I have a few different predictions here. So either we do have a clean fight, or the Kabuki Warriors do interfere, and then we get a probably a six women tag match for the tag titles at this upcoming a Saturday night's main event. So those are kind of some ways that I assume that's going to go. But as far as this opener, I think it was pretty cool. I think this match that we will get tonight should be pretty good. But yeah, I think as far as the opener, I think it was solid. Nothing too crazy, not terrible, but I think it was definitely solid and it got the point across. And like I said, this match in the main event tonight should be pretty damn good. All right, next up we would jump into a banger match, in my opinion, between LA Knight versus Jey Uso in the Last Time Is Now tournament semi-finals, man. So this was a great match from start to finish, man. It was a very quick match, which I liked, like a quick match in the sense that it was very, like, you know, there wasn't really like much slowing, you know. I feel like it was always consistent and it was always like delivering at every freaking point in time. Like this match was not at a slow pace is pretty much what I'm trying to say, which is a good thing in my opinion. So literally, like, I mean, starting from start to finish, like especially at the start, the match started off hot. LA Knight goes right in, tries to hit Jey Uso with a BFT because he realizes that Jey Uso just got off of War Games and he's most likely to be weak. So LA Knight really trying to get that upper hand there, and he really rides that wheel really well throughout the entire match. And overall, man, the match was freaking great. Like I keep saying, it was overall such a good match in my opinion. Probably one of the best matches that these two have had, if not the best match these two have had so far. I think it was just awesome, man. One of my favorite moments was, I mean, dude, LA Knight had Jey Uso top rope. He did a nasty suplex off the top rope, man, or superplex. It looked freaking, oh my god, it looks like it hurt. You could even see Jey Uso, he's like hitting the mat, like, man, it looked like it hurt, and I think it did. I don't even think Jey Uso was like selling. I think he's like genuinely like was feeling all that, man, and it looked like it really fucking hurt in my opinion. But overall, that was one of my favorite moments of the match. But overall, the match was great. Like I keep saying, start to finish was freaking awesome. Overall, though, we would get to a great ending in my opinion. We would see Jey Uso hit a spear on LA Knight, go to the top rope, Uso splash, 1, 2. LA Knight does kick out though, and then they kind of like stay there just for a few seconds, and then LA Knight manages to roll up Jey Uso 1, 2, 3 and sneaks in that win, and LA Knight is going on to the finals, man. So man, I'm glad LA Knight goes on here. I think that's great. And another thing is, I think this match ended in a great way. You know, you don't really want to deteriorate Jey Uso, so a good way to put him out is obviously doing a quick roll-up. So I think that was a great way to have Jey Uso go out here. And at the end of the, and even in the post match, you could see Jey Uso was pissed because he was pretty much wiping out the entire arena. You know, he was messing with the stairs, he was trashing the Prime hydration station. So Jey Uso is obviously pissed. He's really freaking upset. So it's going to be interesting to see how that motive plays into Jey Uso over the next few weeks or even months. So we'll see how that works out. But overall, I think this match was great in my opinion. No complaints for me, and overall a solid match. And like I said, LA Knight does advance to the finals. Alright, now we would jump into Dominic Mysterio and the Judgment Day, and pretty much what Dominic says is, yes, he wants to thank the Judgment Day for his victory and helping him at pretty much War Games and helping him get his title back, but he also, most importantly, does want to thank pretty much his girlfriend, Liv Morgan. So that's when Liv Morgan comes out, and what Liv Morgan pretty much says is, she says she's back, she's pretty much better than ever kind of thing. She's pretty much just telling the WWE Universe what is going to happen, pretty much saying the Judgment Day has been weak, but now that I'm back, it is going to get a lot better. We are going to take what is ours. And that is pretty much it. It's really nothing super crazy, but it is cool to see Liv Morgan back. Obviously, she did return at War Games, but this is her first on-screen on a regular show of WWE, and her actually getting to talk since she's been back, so that's pretty cool. And then, you know, so it's going to be a bit interesting to see how everything plays out. But yeah, that's really all you have to know. It was really nothing super in-depth, but yeah, very cool. Liv Morgan's back. Judgment Day wants to do what they always do. They want to get a gold. They want to take everything that is theirs. So pretty much all you got to know there is really that. There's nothing much else to it. Really nothing too complicated, and that's really it for this little segment. All right, now we would jump into yet another banger tonight. We would jump into a men's World Tag Team Championship match. Obviously, walking in as our champions here was Dragon Lee and AJ Styles, and they did defend against the New Day of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. This match, absolutely awesome. Great chemistry amongst both teams, great moves, great work all freaking around, man. It was just overall a great match, but everybody's favorite highlight of this match, and I know mine personally, and I just guarantee it's going to be everybody's favorite part of this match tonight, was that ending, man. That ending was absolutely freaking wild, man. So we got to the ending. We would see Kofi Kingston. He's kind of like leaning up against the ropes, but his head is pointed down towards the mat area of the ring. Dragon Lee is on the top rope, and then AJ Styles is kind of like standing right in front of Kofi Kingston. And so what Dragon Lee does is he's on that top rope, he jumps off, and he lands kind of like lands right on Xavier or Kofi's back type of thing, which like launches Kofi into AJ Styles, which then puts Kofi in position for that Styles Clash. AJ hits the Styles Clash, and then as Styles does that, Dragon Lee does launch himself over the top rope to the outside to take out Xavier Woods and Grayson Waller, and then obviously AJ Styles hits that Styles Clash and then rolls him up 1, 2, 3. Match is over, man. So you guys just have to really watch that again if you guys did not see that, or just watch it back, because man, it was freaking gnarly. It looked awesome, and it was just overall definitely the highlight of this match tonight. It was so awesome, possibly even a highlight of the night. I wouldn't be surprised, but overall, man, that was something freaking amazing that, I don't know, man, it was just overall great. I was not really expecting that. I think that was awesome. It really added that icing on the cake. So overall, I think it was great match, and as like I mentioned, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee did pick up the win here, so they are still our World Tag Team Champions. All right, man, it just keeps getting better, man. We jumped into the Vision, man, and Bron Breakker absolutely freaking killed it tonight. So we jump into the Vision. They come out. Paul Heyman talks first. He pretty much gives a shout out to the Beast. Brock Lesnar says, "There's nobody like you. You will always be the Beast." He goes over to the Maverick, goes over to the Logan Paul, calls him the Maverick, which is what he is, pretty much giving him a shout out. Goes to Bronson Reed, gives Bronson Reed a shout out. Says, you know, you tsunami. Pretty much he tsunami'd everybody that nobody was pretty much getting out that night, basically type of thing. So then we go on to Bron Breakker. He says he pretty much we get to know like what's going on with the World Heavyweight title. He says that Bron Breakker, January 5th, the 1-year anniversary of WWE on Netflix, will go one-on-one with CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then we jump into where everything gets good, where everybody freaking, you know, is on their toes and really freaking is like in shock about what Bron Breakker, you know, pretty much did, man. He cut a banger promo, so I'm going to try to sum up as best as I can. I really recommend going back and watching this if you have not, or if you haven't even watched it. I really recommend watching this. It was a really good freaking promo. It's something that everybody needs to experience to really understand just how good it was. So, like I said, I'll try to sum it up as best as I can. So, Bron Breakker, first thing he opens opens up with is on Saturday, he says that, you know, he thought it was going to be a lot harder to beat CM Punk, the guy that he grew up watching, the guy that he always heard about, the guy that seemed to be so like top of the line. He didn't understand how easy it was going to be, and then he calls CM Punk a soft ass bitch, and then he says that, you know, CM Punk is too stupid. He doesn't even pretty much know the war that is going on inside his house. He says that his wife is a bigger star than he is, man. So right off the bat, he starts off hot, man. It just keeps getting better, and he gets to the end, and he ends it off with, you know, with me on January 5th. While you're sitting on your ass looking up at the lights, I will be standing over you, your newly crowned world heavyweight champion of the world, and you'll just be pretty much, you know, you'll just be the freaking loser type of thing. You know, like I said, I really can't really rephrase everything, man. It's just something that you guys have to go back and watch, but those are some of the highlights. But he definitely said a lot more than that, trust me on that one. But really recommend going back and watching this promo. Great promo, one of the best promo that Bron Breaker's ever cut, and man, I can't wait to see many more like this, man. It was absolutely awesome. So great freaking segment here. Absolutely love this, and can't wait for that match on January 5th. That will be freaking great. I cannot wait. That would be such an awesome match. Hopefully that's where Bron Breakker wins the title. I would not be surprised if that's where he does win the title. That would be awesome. But overall, this segment alone, absolutely awesome. And like I said, go back and watch that promo or rewatch it if you have not already. All right, so now we would jump into yet another banger, man. It just keeps getting better tonight, in my opinion. So we jumped into the last semifinal match for the Last Time Is Now tournament, and we jumped into Gunther versus Solo Sikoa, man. I think this match had a really great ending. It had a great start, too. I think so. I think the entire match was really good. The ending is where it got really freaking good, in my opinion. It was a great back and forth. There was times where, like, okay, Gunther hits like a wicked little clothesline. I'm like, oh my god, Gunther's gonna win it. But no, Solo kicks out, and then there's times Solo hits like a spinning Solo or a Samoan Spike type of thing, and then I'm like, oh my god, Solo's gonna win. But no, Gunther kicks out. But man, it's just that feeling that I got from this match that was absolutely amazing. Inevitably, though, we would get to the point where the turnbuckle would come off, but from Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa would take it off. I believe was the the top right corner, depending on how you're depending like from the hard cam at least. And then what we would see there is we would see Gunther roll out to the outside, and then Tala Tonga, who was ringside with Solo Sikoa, he would kind of hold Gunther, or he would first hit him with a big boot, then he would hold him, tell Solo to come out, and then Solo, you know, he's getting ready to line up that Samoan Spike on Gunther, but the referee does come back in time. That does not happen. Gunther breaks out, he kicks Solo Sikoa, gets rid of Tala Tonga, and then we would see Gunther and Solo get back in the ring. Gunther would cheat, and he would hit Solo with a low blow. The ref obviously wouldn't see it because he is distracted with Tala Tonga. And then we would see a powerbomb, 1, 2, 3, and then it is our going on to the finals is going to be Gunther, man. But overall, I think a great match. And post-match, we would see the other person who will be in the finals against Gunther, which is LA Knight, which we talked about earlier on tonight. So he comes out and pretty much just gives Gunther a piece of his mind. Just tell him, I will see you soon, but I will tell you one thing. It will not be this music playing. It will be mine with everybody saying pretty much LA Knight, yeah, type of thing. So pretty cool, man. I think this match was great. I think it'll be a good final, man. I really want to see LA Knight win this one. I don't want to see Gunther win this one. I know it's going to happen, but I really don't. I really don't want to see it, man. I really want LA Knight to win this one, but we'll have to wait and see. It does go down this Friday, but hey, love this match, love this segment. Overall, absolute freaking banger again, in my opinion. All right, now we have finally made it to our main event of the night, which, like I mentioned earlier, it does take place between not the Kabuki Warriors, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, or Rio, versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. So overall, banger match in my opinion, just like I expected. But one of my predictions that I had stated earlier at the beginning of the video actually did come true. So let's skip to later on in the match to the late stages. It became a great back and forth, just like the Solo Sikoa match did. But overall, great in-ring ability from all these women, great chemistry. Overall, great match. But we would get to the end where, like I said, like one of my predictions would come true, where the Kabuki Warriors would come out and interrupt. And that wasn't just them. We would then see we even saw the team of Bayley and Lyra Valkyria come out, and then we even saw the Judgment Day come out. So Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Roxanne Perez. So it was just an all-out brawl, man. So pretty much what comes of this is we understand what is going on with the women's tag division over the next few weeks and months. So all the way up until Saturday night's main event, to Royal Rumble, possibly even to WrestleMania, man. You never know. So overall, I think this was pretty freaking cool. It was very chaotic, which I liked. And overall, throughout all this, we would see the Judgment Day stand tall. What was cool though, we would see Raquel Rodriguez would grab one of the tag titles, raise it up, and then Roxanne would grab one of the titles, but she would hand it over to Liv, but then Liv would hand it right back. So that was pretty cool, and then Liv would raise the hands of both of them. So that was pretty cool. But overall, Judgment Day would stand tall here. But just ranking this segment, I think it was great. Match was great. My prediction did come true, which is cool because we're going to get some chaos over the next few weeks, and it's going to be interesting to figure out who is going to face the Kabuki Warriors for those tag titles, possibly at Saturday Night's main event. I don't think they're obviously going to put all these women into one match, so they're obviously going to do some sort of like elimination, number one contender type of stuff before, or to figure out who faces them at Saturday Night's main event, which is going to be awesome. But yeah, overall, I like this one. It sets up a lot, so overall, great main event. I enjoyed it. Now let's freaking go. Alright, well, that is going to wrap up this week's Raw recap. As always, I do hope you guys did enjoy. And just ranking this episode of Raw, man, I do think it was very freaking good as well. I don't think there was really one thing that I hated on this show. I think all of it was really damn good. Great matches, great things that happened in the matches. So overall, I like this. I think this was great segments. Overall, a great episode of Raw, in my opinion. But as always, be sure to leave me your thoughts down in the comments below. And as always, before we get out of here, be sure to help your boy out. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. Go follow the socials. Links to those will be in the description of this video. That includes my Instagram account, my X account. Do all that helps me a ton, and I will catch y'all boys in the next one. Peace. I dream broken dreams. I make